Hi again, everyone. John Simmons here with another edition of Radio Northampton, bringing you interesting guests and local news from around the town and the seacoast. Our first guest, who is no stranger to anyone here in town and chair of the bandstand committee, Dolores Chase. Dolores, great to see you.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
All right, can you tell our audience a little bit about the concert series that the committee has lined up for the summer?
Yes, I can. We, as usual, have about 12 concerts. We're starting off at Jumbo Circus Peanuts. That was June 19th. And last night we had one of our biggest and best concerts. And I hope everyone will watch Channel 22 when it's on because they were fantastic. I've never seen so many adults dancing and having a good time and great crowd.
So the committee obviously does more than just concerts throughout the year. What are some other events that you've got lined up?
Well, we're hosting a band for Northampton's Old Home Day, and that's going to be a really good band. It's the Baja Brothers, Jimmy Buffett Tribute Band. A lot of fun. So I hope people will come out for that. I think it's from 5 to 7. And then, of course, Christmas time, we have a tree lighting ceremony, and we have cleanup. We plant flowers. We do a lot of things during the year.
So what would you say is the can't miss event of the year that you guys have lined up and that people in Northampton are definitely going to want to come to?
Well, I think, of course, Old Home Day, we tried to make that really special. They're just a great group. We have so many. We have a new group, Grove Alliance. They're a wedding band, party band, 9 people. It's just going to be fantastic. Never had them before, but I've been told that we're going to be really surprised. And I'm so lucky that they're coming to our venue.
So what drives the committee to keep organizing events for citizens like this in town? Because it just seems like every time that someone drives by on Route 1A, that when they go by the bandstand, crowds are just flocking there all the time. So what drives you to keep organizing events like this?
Well, I guess that's what drives me. I see so many people enjoying themselves. I see kids dancing. It's just a lot of satisfaction. Community, it's wonderful.
Thank you, Dolores. We're going to take a brief break for some community notes, and then we'll return with more right here on Radio Northampton. And welcome back to Radio Northampton, where we're here with our guest, Dolores Chase. Dolores, would you mind giving us a few highlights of the upcoming schedule for the summer?
I'd love to. We have a Navy Band of the Northeast, a brass quintet. They're coming from Newport, Rhode Island. I had hoped to get their concert band. I couldn't this year, but I said, I'll take what you can give me. So they have several small bands. I'm sure it's going to be wonderful. It's five pieces of brass, which they can play some real music with that. We have, again, Elvis. This is a third year, one of our biggest draws. People love Elvis. He puts on a great show, and we're looking forward to that. That's July 24th. Another new band is the Visitors. We've not had them before, but we have Buddy Brown, who's one of the founders, and he was with the Spectres. So they play classic rock, country, waltzes, and a whole lot more, he says. So that will be a nice one for everyone to come out to. And Groove Alliance, I don't know if I mentioned that, but they're a brand new band for us. They're just one of the best, I guess, in Massachusetts, supposedly, a wedding party band. So we have a lot of nice bands coming.
So part of what made the bandstand and thus the concerts all possible is the brick walkway that leads up to the bandstand on the Commons grass. Can you talk to us a little bit about that and what made that possible?
Yes, what happened in 1992, I hope I don't have to go back too far, but we had a project to build a bandstand because that was Northampton's 250th celebration. We had money left over. We said, we've had such a good time, let's keep this going. We built the bandstand, and then we decided to have memorial bricks. After all these years, which was probably close to 20 years, I guess, they started deteriorating. So we did another fundraiser. We replaced at the bandstand's expense all of the bricks that were existing, and we have new ones. So if anyone hasn't stopped, they really should. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of work that the brick masons did. We're very proud of it, and it just adds to our bandstand.
So on Labor Day, it looks like you have something exciting planned for us. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's a lot of fun because we have the American Legion that does the food. They do a great job. So that's their cookout, and that's from 2 to 4. This is a band called the Blue Note Big Band. They started out as Good Memories years ago with Hal Moulton. Hal's deceased, and the band continued, and they have a really wonderful director, and they're a real class act.
And who are some of the sponsors that the committee looks to help put all these fantastic concerts on?
Well, we have a lot of sponsors, but we have some. We have like the Rotary Club of, I guess they'd like to be called now the Rotary Club of Hampton, Hampton Falls, Northampton, and Seabrook. They always sponsor a band. Northampton Business Association, they're very big with us, and they sponsor a band. They like to be there, like to have raffles, and they give away ice cream and things. It just makes for a really fun evening.
Well, Dolores, it's certainly been a pleasure chatting with you about the 2019 concert schedule. Good luck with the rest of the year, and hopefully the sun will be out every Wednesday night this summer so the citizens of Northampton can get out and enjoy.
That's what we need, sunshine. Good weather.
Thank you. We'll be back with more on Radio Northampton right after this. Welcome back, everyone, to Radio Northampton, where we are joined by our second guest, Max Reisch. Max, thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
So, you're a teenager in high school, and you've done something recently that not a lot of teenagers can say that they've done. Would you mind telling us what you've done for the town?
Yeah, so I've just redesigned the town flag for Northampton, New Hampshire. It was a pretty long process. It took a total of about 2 years. And I'm just so happy to see the flag flying now above the town hall. It makes me very happy. Yeah.
So what made you want to design the flag in the first place?
Yeah, so, driving around the Seacoast area, Stratham, Portsmouth, Hampton, all of these towns are towns that have flags, and Portsmouth and Stratham and even Rye have town flags flying. So it kind of made me think to myself, well, why don't we have one? So I did a lot of investigating, and I went to the library and the town halls, and I asked them about if we had a town flag, which we did. And the Northampton Historical Society had created it, and they owned the rights to it. So I met with them, and I showed them my design, and they gave me the rights to redesign the flag. So I went through a lot of drafts and a lot of different ideas, and I ended up with the one that we have today.
Where did you get the inspiration for the design and the color scheme of the flag?
Yeah, so I'm a vexillologist, which means that I like to study flags, their meanings, kind of what they symbolize. And the Northampton flag that I designed is called a tricolor, which means that there's basically 3 different sections to the flag. And I like tricolors because they're clean and they're usually pretty symmetrical. the actual colors of the blue and the yellow are to they symbolize different things about Northampton, but they're also to connect us to New Hampshire and the New Hampshire state flag, because those are the colors of the New Hampshire state flag. And then the town seal was vital to the flag, because that was really something that connects all of Northampton people together. And then the 13 stars around the seal were really to kind of connect us to America, sort of, and kind of bring in some American heritage to that as well.
What has been the most rewarding part of the process? Because like you said earlier, it took you almost 2 years to get this from just an idea to finally flying on flagpoles in Northampton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just the overall process was great. I got to go to a lot of meetings, met with a lot of people, and it taught me a lot of lessons just about like not giving up. There were certainly times where it was kind of tough to carry on, but just to see it flying now again after the 2 year long process, it's a lesson in perseverance and just never giving up.
Thank you, Max. We're going to take a brief break here, and then we'll be back with more right after this on Radio Northampton. And welcome back to Radio Northampton with our guest, Max Reisch. Now, Max, you not only spend a lot of your spare time designing and studying flags, but you're also an avid swimmer. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
So what has gotten you to be interested in swimming? Because I've read some about you on the Seacoast Online, and you've been in a pool practicing swimming since you were 11, it seems like.
Yeah. So basically, when I started out doing youth sports, my dad especially tried to have me do everything except for swimming, because he was a swimmer and he knew how time consuming and how hard it was, especially when you get older. So I mean, I did baseball, tennis, hockey, soccer, like you name it. Really every other sport. And ultimately, I tried swimming for the first time, and it was hard, and I didn't really want to go back, but my dad said just try it a second time, and I did. And ever since that second practice at the Seacoast YMCA, I've just been doing it, and it's been fun, it's been great for fitness, and it's something that I really enjoy. Yeah.
And you're also preparing for some big swimming events. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so this coming up summer, I have the 2019 USA Swimming Phillips 66 National Championships, which at that meet, I'm trying to qualify for the USA Swimming National Junior Team, which that is it's basically like the Olympic team on a non-Olympic year for 18 and unders. And basically, if you're top 2 in an event, you make the team, and then if you're top 4, you have a good chance to make it. So that's the goal for this summer, but then coming up in the summer of 2020, I have the Olympic trials, and everything we're doing right now is to kind of prepare for that meet. That is the end game right now, and I'm super excited for nationals and trials coming up to get that experience and swim against some of the fastest swimmers in the world.
What are the main events that you do, and what would you say is your bread and butter event in the pool?
Yeah, so I'm a breaststroker and IMer, which means that I do the 100 breaststroke, the 200 breaststroke, the 400 IM, and the 200 IM. Those are my 4 main events. But my best event, I qualified for the Olympic trials in the 200-meter breaststroke. And I'm going to try to qualify in the 100-meter breaststroke, the 4 IM, and possibly the 2 IM by 2020. But right now I only have the 200-meter breaststroke.
And are you going to college for swimming?
Yes, so I recently committed to Indiana University, and they not only have what I want academically, but athletically in swimming, they're the third best men's team in the country. All of their coaches have been on an Olympic team of some sort. They have 6 Olympians training in their pro group. So swimming, it's everything I'm looking for, and academically too. So it just felt like the right fit.
So, what has been your inspiration throughout this long journey of swimming through all the ups and downs that you've had?
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely not an easy sport. It's super challenging. There are days when I'm doing doubles, so a practice in the morning, a practice at night, and that's in between school as well. So having a full day like that, it teaches you just about time management and all of that good life lessons. But my end goal is to make an Olympic team, and there are tiny steps to get to that goal. And you can't do it all in one meet or in 1 year. It takes a lot of time and effort and determination. So that's sort of the goal right now, and it's kind of kept me going ever since I started swimming. When I was like 8 years old, wanting to make an Olympic team has been the goal. So I'm happy that goal hasn't changed, and I'm still pursuing it to the fullest.
Well, Max, thank you for joining us today, and best of luck to you as you go forward with the national tournaments, Olympic trials, and college. We wish you the best, and everybody's rooting for you.
All right, thank you so much.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back right after this.
Yeah, so the flag before this was the town seal, and then with a blue background, and that was all it was. So what I did was I made it a little bit more in depth to Northampton. So I added the white and tan stripes on the side, and then also the 13 stars around the seal to symbolize the 13 qualities of Northampton. Yeah.
Very cool.
Thank you.
And that's our podcast for today. We'd like to thank our 2 guests, Dolores Chase and Max Reisch. I'm John Simmons, and don't forget that we're online at northamptoncommunitymedia.com or radionorthampton.com. We'll see you next time on Radio Northampton.